Jim Renner last night. We have 112 participants so far. I know that I talked to somebody yesterday at noon and they got on. So the question earlier was, can you still register? And you can. So well, hopefully I've been encouraging people to try to go ahead and sign up. But it's been a great event. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed seeing all the different people post on Facebook. So things are looking great, and appreciate all the leadership that people who helped it with this run. I think this will probably be the best as far as raising the dollars to help eradicate polio that our club has done. So thanks to Jim Renner and the rest of the people that have been involved in it. But very good. Thank you very much.
That is awesome. And I'll be writing my $140 check today. 14 states. So yeah. Oh. Anyway, great. David Oliver, where are you gonna be this week?
I'm going to be out in Seattle. I have the 49ers Seahawks Sunday afternoon.
Nice. Everybody be looking for number 24 out there on the sideline. Throwing that flag. All right. We do have a new membership application in. Lee Hartman has turned his in. That's awesome. And Murray, you've got an announcement. Murray Moore.
Yeah, so trunk or treats happening this evening at Topeka High's Western Street parking lot. Are the Interact Club that you sponsor from Topeka High has gone to a lot of work to put this on. So if you get a chance to stop by, we're working hard. So we've got 20 trunks lined up, and it should be a pretty good time.
Thank you for the work you do with them, Murray. That's awesome. You know, and we have the privilege and honor of this club being the home club for the District 5710 governor. And of course, it's our own fair and bar. In fact, we're so honored that we thought we'd try it again. So it's my extreme honor to inform this club that we have nominated yet another Topeka South Rotarian to be governor. This one for the 2023-24 Rotary year. We've nominated Jenna Lee Randall. Ann Wardner even came up with a slogan, Jenna Lee in 23. So yard signs and bumper stickers are going to be available soon. But Jenna Lee, would you like to say anything?
Just that I will forever, if I receive the nomination from the district, that means I will forever be only 23 years old.
Okay, that's not what that means, Jenna Lee. But okay.
Oh, well, okay, I'll still do it. Thank you for the nomination. Rotary has meant so much to me, and this club means so much to me. To be nominated is a real honor, and I would just love to take the energy and the commitment and the passion that we have and just share it with the district and learn more about what's happening in the district and just lead more Rotarians. It's a real honor. But then it also means I have to follow in Farron's footsteps. So that's a big undertaking. But I just really appreciate being considered. I feel like it's like an Oscar nomination. It's just an honor to be nominated. This district is incredible. You know, we stretch across Northeast Kansas, and I love our state. I love this area. And so it would just be a real honor to be the district governor of 5710. So thank you so much for the nomination.
Absolutely wonderful. And congratulations. Let's hope that works out. Farron, do you want to follow up with anything? I'm sorry, Mr. Governor.
Yes. We are very, very happy that she accepted the nomination. So definitely looking forward to hoping that she gets nominated. She does have competition. I do know that, but you know, so get out all your campaign banners and so forth. I think it was Ann Wardner that said she would be our campaign manager. So so you better better start campaigning now, because the nominations will be up at the end of this month, which is obviously tomorrow. And so I think we've got 3 that's nominated right now. And I'm hoping that it's going to be our very own Jenna Lee, because she's going to be fantastic. I know she will be. And I'll just segue right into district conference, which is next week, next Saturday, as a matter of fact. And how many do we have registered right now, Jamie? I know you're on here. Jamie's
We
got-
have over 100.
Excellent. The last time I heard from Mandy, which was earlier this week, we had 65 registered for Zoom and we had 41 in person. And of course, the registration for Zoom is open, and anyone who hasn't registered, you can register and tune in to any part of the district conference. It starts at 10 and the last speaker will be at 7. So tune in and see some of it, at least, if you can. There's several different things to look at. We've got an hour with Dana Brewer, my counterpart, talking about Polio Plus and his experience, his personal experience with polio and his family. And Jim Arnett will also be giving us some numbers on that. We've got our own Patty Millard, who's going to be leading a session of 4 different presenters on human trafficking. Todd Bowtie Jenkins will be presenting on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we'll have a Rotary Roulette type of hour where we've got several people reporting about what's going on in the district and what their various clubs have been doing during all this mess that we've been living through for the last several months. So that will be fun and entertaining, hopefully, and inspiring. And then the final speaker will be Jenny Stotts, and her speech is pretty inspirational. So I would hope that many people tune in for that. So hopefully you all are there next week and enjoy what we have set up for you.
All right. Thank you, Governor Barr. Does anybody else have any announcements before we turn it over to the fun? No? I got to tell you, I've been waiting. I've been waiting for a couple weeks now just to hear Jessica make this introduction. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you, Jessica. It's all yours.
You are so cruel, Jim. So cruel. Welcome, Topeka South Rotarians. I am going to do my best to not mess up any of my Spanish words as I make this introduction to Tina. Tina, I am so thrilled to introduce you to our club. Jim and I talked quite a bit about wanting to learn more about the Day of the Dead. And so I'm thrilled that you are.
No.
I will get to what you just give me a minute.
Okay.
Jim. So let me introduce you to Tina. Tina is the daughter of Kenneth Williams and Augusta Martinez Williams. She grew up in the Oakland community and is a graduate at Topeka High School. She studied Spanish, Latin American Studies, and secondary education at Washburn University. She received a Master's of Science from Kansas State University and currently works at Washburn University in the Office of International Programs. She is passionate about education and mentoring global learners. In 2006, she was selected to participate in the Rotary International Group Study Exchange, Eastern Kansas District 5710 to Paraguay and Argentina District 4840. Through research and preparing for the GSE, that she learned about the long-standing Kansas-Paraguay Partnership International Exchange under the Partners of the Americas. Through this partnership, there exists an education exchange with Paraguayan universities and state universities in Kansas. During her participation in the GSE, she was able to work with the university professionals in Paraguay to add Washburn University to the existing exchange agreement, providing international opportunities to both Paraguayans and Washburn University students. Through her participation in GSE, she fulfilled personal and professional goals, along with the goal of Rotary International, to provide humanitarian service and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. Through her work in international education, she has had the opportunity to travel to Europe, Asia, and Latin America. In 2019, she traveled to 2 cities in Mexico, which I'm going to let her pronounce for me because Jim will not ever let me forgive me for that, messing that up. But she did go there to experience firsthand the celebration of Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, a celebration of family, community, and deep traditions. So welcome, Tina. We cannot wait to hear your presentation this morning.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Y muy bien. Tu español es muy bien. Yeah, good job. And good mentoring, Jim. Hello there, neighbor. How are you? I see you all are in great hands with my neighbor, Jim Bramos there at the wheel, and you all are a very busy and focused club. You have a lot of things going on. So I'm grateful to be here with you all today. Thank you for that lovely introduction. Yes, I did actually find a little trinket from my Rotary Exchange. This was back in 2006 when I was part of the group study exchange to Paraguay and Argentina. I just got lucky that that district crossed 2 different countries, and I was able to be there for a month and working with different professionals, both from the US that were part of the group study exchange and the professionals inside in country. And now Washburn has received and sent dozens of students through student exchange under what started as a Rotary Exchange. So I'm forever grateful for Rotary and happy to be here today to share El Dia de los Muertos with you. So how does it work? I'm gonna just share my screen. Okay, let me get set up here. Nope. Okay, can you see me now? All right, so you've invited me here today to share with you El Dia de los Muertos, which is a Mexican holiday celebrated for multiple days, October 31st through November 2nd. What can be better than a multiple day celebration? In 2019, I had the opportunity to visit Guanajuato and San Miguel de Allende in the states of Guanajuato, Mexico, which you can see is here down in central Mexico. So through Washburn, I work with over 25 universities that we have exchange programs with, and we happen to have a partner in Guanajuato, Mexico. And for years, my colleague had been telling me about the wonderful celebrations that they have there for Dia de los Muertos and inviting me to come and experience it firsthand. So I decided to take advantage of that. And I am so grateful that I did that last year because there would be no way to do that this year for sure. So while I was there, as you can see, I was able to consult with some experts and learn more about this holiday. So before I get into what Dia de los Muertos is, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not Mexican Halloween, which is a very common and easy mistake to make because there are so many similarities between the 2 holidays, but at their core, they are very different celebrations. So the origins are different. Dia de los Muertos is from traditions in Mexico that became about when the Spanish conquistadors met with the Mesoamerican indigenous and their traditions and religions mixed to form this new holiday, Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. Halloween has its origins in Celtic celebrations from Ireland. For Dia de los Muertos, the idea is to remember and celebrate loved ones who have passed. For Halloween, it's an awareness and fear of the afterlife. For Dia de los Muertos, to celebrate, you would generally go to a cemetery or make a food offerings, or burn candles, have photos of loved ones out and flowers in memorial. For Halloween, we carve jack-o'-lanterns, wear costumes, watch horror movies, go trick-or-treating. Some of the objects that you would see out for Dia de los Muertos would be skulls and skeletons, lots of candies. For Halloween, there's of course lots of candies too, pumpkin, ghosts. again, horror images. They both have their roots in paganism and Christianity, Catholicism. Dia de los Muertos is a mixture of an Aztec religion that celebrated the god of death and the combination of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Days. Halloween comes from All Hallows' Eve. Dia de los Muertos is a happy and festive occasion, and Halloween can also be happy and festive, but it tends to have a spooky and scary tone to it as well. Dia de los Muertos honors the spirits of loved ones, and Halloween makes us remember to beware of malice spirits that walk the earth. So I liked this graphic. A picture has 1,000 words. So this is how death is viewed around the world. French view it the way Americans view it, Germans, Japanese, Africans, and then there's the Mexicans have a little bit different take on it. So what Dia de los Muertos is a celebration of life. It's this multiple day holiday with rich traditions that have been celebrated for over 3,000 years. It's a perfect example of this complex heritage between the Mexican people, which is blending those beliefs from their native ancestors and those of the Spanish conquistadors. It's a very colorful celebration. Traditionally, families will visit the graveyards and clean and decorate the graves and stay there overnight. Or if you don't go to a graveyard, then you would make a home altar where you have photos and objects from that loved one. These altars can be very simple and humble, just to a little corner nightstand in a room, or they can be huge, elaborate decorations that fill an entire room. It's a time to gather with family and friends and pray and remember loved ones who have died and help support their spiritual journey. It sort of reminds me of a combination of Thanksgiving and Memorial Day all put together in one. It's not scary, it's a sacred holiday. So I mentioned it happens over multiple days. And depending on where you are in Latin America, it can start as early as October 27th and go as late as November 5th. But the main days of celebration are on November 1st, All Saints' Day, which traditionally is El Dia de los Angelitos, the Little Angels' Day, to remember children who have passed. And traditionally, you would also place food and water on the altar because these spirits are coming from very far away and they're quite thirsty and hungry when they arrive. The celebration continues on All Souls' Day, and this is the day that you celebrate those departed loved ones, adults. You are burning incense, the smoke is rising and guiding their way. You lay a path of flower petals up to the altar to also help guide the way. And then on the 3rd, it's kind of the after party after you've been up all night celebrating, and you continue burning the candles and incense and say your final goodbyes until next year's celebration. So I've mentioned the altars, ofrendas, a couple of times now. So a basic altar needs to have these elements on it, such as your photos for the loved ones to be remembered. Food and water are very symbolic and definitely must be a part of the altar. And basically any celebration, good celebration, always includes good food. So pan de muerto is a traditional egg bread that is scented with orange peel and anise seeds, and it's usually topped with crossbones made of dough. So you can see those here. Salt is for purification, water is to refresh the souls, and can't see that. Also, you'll want to have white candles and to guide the lights, and copal incense. Copal is an aromatic resin from a copal tree, and it rises and helps guide the spirits. And then the cempasúchils are large orange and yellow Mexican marigold flowers and white calla lilies to also adorn the altar. So I have a little video here that shows us how to build an altar, and hopefully it will play correctly. So again, back to these ofrendas, which again come in all shapes and sizes. You can see there's some that are kind of shoebox size, tabletop size, and can fill an entire room. Very artistic. And they're not only for people, they're for all of the loved ones who've passed away. So that for many families also includes pets. So you will often see them dedicated to different animals as well. So Dia de los Muertos is a holiday that has traveled around the world. And again, it has its origins in Mexico, where Aztec and Spanish traditions came together. Also spread across Latin America and the Caribbean, all the way to the Philippines. And it is in line to be America's next new holiday. Like all cultural practices, they grow and change with time. And Dia de los Muertos has definitely permeated our pop culture and art and movies and video games. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Coco, which is Disney's interpretation of Dia de los Muertos. Before that was a movie called The Book of Life, which if you haven't seen that one, it's also very good. And this I didn't know about, but through my research for today, I found out there is a video game called Grim Fandango from George Lucas Studios of Star Wars that features characters reminiscent of Dia de los Muertos. And then, of course, Barbie cannot be left out of the show. There is a Dia de los Muertos Barbie as well. So, speaking of Dia de los Muertos here in the US, these are some of the top 3 ways that Hispanics in the US celebrate: by building an altar at home, celebrating at the cemetery, or buying or baking pan de muerto. And reasons that they want to celebrate the holiday is for family togetherness, maintaining traditions, sharing those traditions with their children, and just having the ability to celebrate and enjoy the best of both worlds. And some of the different regions where Dia de los Muertos is celebrated is a breakdown on this map here. This is kind of an old resource back from 2012, so I'm sure that these numbers have grown quite a bit over the past nearly 10 years. La Catrina is one of the iconic symbols of Dia de los Muertos, and she recently visited the Mexican consulate in Kansas City as part of the 10-year anniversary of Dia de los Muertos being celebrated at Nelson Atkins Art Museum. So let's hear from her.
Sorry, can I interrupt you for a second? Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not able to hear anything from the YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm not either, Tina.
Oh, okay.
We don't hear anything. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a setting on the share screen. There might be a checkbox to say share computer audio.
Was the other one not heard either?
No.
No.
But it looked cool.
Well, that's okay. I can skip the video. Sorry, I have too many windows here. If you have a chance, you should visit the NelsonAtkins.org. You can see that video and many others. They also are having a virtual celebration this year of the 10-year anniversary, where they will showcase the altars that they build there in the courtyard of the Nelson every year, which are, of course, very artistic and elaborate. So it's worth a few clicks to visit the Nelson Atkins Art Museum. If you want to celebrate here locally, I'd like to tell you about a couple places that you could visit. El Torito, the grocery store out north Topeka, has a wonderful bakery that they bake delicious seasonal sweetbreads every day in a process that starts at 4 a.m. So we thought we got up early today. This is a few hours before we are meeting. They've already been baking these delicious breads. So you can see back here the pan de muerto, the little crossbones on the top. And of course, they also have the Halloween inspired breads as well, ghosts and pumpkins. If you would like to see some altars, there are some that are created by local families that are on display in Noto at the Justicia Ballet Folklorico de Topeka Dance Studio and Art Center. And those will be on display from October 30th through November 3rd. They are thinking about keeping them up for the next first Friday as well, November 6th. So if you head on to Noto, make sure you pop in there to see these altars created by local families. And if you do swing by to get some sweetbread, or if you just want something warm on these cold winter evenings, I would suggest a good Mexican hot chocolate. Muy Bueno Cooking, or MuyBuenoCookbook.com is one of my favorite go-to websites for Mexican recipes. Yvette does a great job with the recipes, but she also incorporates stories and a lot of culture, and it's a whole educational experience cooking from this website. So the very first video that I showed about how to make an altar is also available on this website if you would like to actually hear what she had to say about all of the items that were placed on the altar. So again, that's MuyBuenoCookbook.com for recipes and stories. So in the end, it's not death that we should fear, but not having lived. Dia de los Muertos is a celebration of life. It's not only a time to remember loved ones who's passed away, but it's also a time for interpersonal reflection. And are you living your best life? And how is it that you want to be remembered when you pass away? So I hope that this has given you some good information about Dia de los Muertos, and you're all ready now to celebrate Dia de los Muertos. So thank you. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, Tina. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Tina? No? Come on, somebody's got to. How much do you think that the movie Coco has brought an awareness to the Dia de los Muertos?
Yes, anytime something permeates our pop culture and, you know, bed sheets and lamps and towels and kitchen utensils and things are made from it, you know, it's going to enter your life and have some sort of meaning. And, you know, children, of course, sometimes they're the ones that sort of set the tone and for the household. And if it's something that they're interested in, then of course the parents are going to be interested in it and learn more about it as well. So I think it has had a huge impact. And another connection to Topeka for Coco, a young lady that I grew up with in the Oakland neighborhood. Her name is Angela Cervantes. She's an author and she now lives in Kansas City, but she wrote the junior novel for Coco. Disney reached out to her. She's a writer. She's a graduate from Highland Park High School, and she writes children's literature. And Disney reached out to her and asked her to adapt the movie Coco into a junior novel, which she has done so. So if you're in Barnes and Nobles or on Amazon, check out the Coco junior novel. It's a great gift for a young person in your life, and it supports local talent.
Very cool. Awesome. Let me see. Does anybody else have any questions? No? Okay.
Wow, I nailed it. Great.
Right. Well, Tina, thank you so very much. We appreciate you taking the time and sharing all this information with us. It's even I learned something on a few of these, so that's very cool. I look forward to looking at some of those videos. Everybody, back to the meeting. I would like to also turn it back over to Governor Barr, who wanted to make another little announcement.
I just wanted to remind everybody that the Polio Plus giving that we're doing with our run and with any individual contributions that you make, that is getting a 6-to-1 match. So this is pretty significant. I mean, obviously we know about the Bill and Melinda Gates doing the 2-to-1 match. They've been doing that for several years, and they've committed to doing it for 3 more years of 2-to-1 match. But Rotary International is also matching every dollar. So that all comes out to a 6-to-1 match for every dollar you contribute. So this run is raising a lot more than what you're contributing. We are going to be contributing at least $60,000 to Polio Plus with this run. So thank you all for doing this.
That is amazing, 60 grand. And, you know, this year we were really kind of worried about it. You know, we even thought about possibly skipping it. And here we've gone virtual I couldn't be more pleased. $60,000 of Polio Plus, that's amazing. So plus another 140, right? Anyway, does anybody else have any announcements that we forgot to cover at the beginning? You know, you can go ahead and you still make your donations. If you're not running, you still can contribute to RI and Polio Plus. So please consider doing so. It looks like it's going to be a record year, and that's amazing. So thank you, club. You're amazing. I want to again welcome Alyssa, Jody, Maria, Manef. Thank you so much for visiting with us today. Make sure everybody watches number 24 in Seattle. And Jenna Lee, congratulations on your nomination. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get the 4-way test up on the screen if we could. And here we go. Let's start our weekend with a 4-way test, please. The things we think,
say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill, better friendships? Will be beneficial to all concerned?
And
is it fun?
Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for being here today and getting that pumpkin run, get that walk in. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Jim.